Hello friends, thank you so much for joining me today for this blanket tutorial. We are going to be using a medium 4-weight acrylic yarn today. I have chosen the Big Twist Value yarn, but you can choose whatever you would like. And you can also choose whatever size yarn you would like, just use the corresponding hook for that yarn weight. So we are going to be using a 5.5 millimeter hook. And with the yarn, I have 4 colors that I chose, but you can do it in all one solid color. You could do variegated yarn. You could do whatever you choose to do. It is however you want to make it. Make it with whatever your own style is. That's what this blanket is for. So I will show color changes, but if you don't want to do the color changes, just continue on with your same color. All of the yardage and the colors and the order of the stripes that I used is in the description, so you can visit that if you would like to make it the same color or use the same order. You can reference the description box for that information. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm so excited to get started on this blanket with you. We are going to start this blanket with any number of even chains. So you can do any even number that you'd like. I'm going to start with 160. After you have your 160 or whatever even number you have chosen, we are going to single crochet all the way across our chain. So I'm going to skip the first chain and work a single crochet into that second chain and into each chain across. And you should have an odd number now, or 159. And since this is just a swatch, I have this little piece, but it is the same instructions for the larger blanket. So we have our single crochet row worked all the way to the end. And now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. And we are going to skip that first stitch there. This chain 3 is going to count as the first triple crochet. So we are going to work into the second stitch, and triple crochet is wrap your yarn twice around your hook and go into that stitch. If you need any help with the basic stitches, I have a playlist linked up here in the corner or in the description for you to go visit if you need help with any beginner stitches. Alright, so we are just going to continue with the triple crochets all the way across our chain, across our single crochets here. So we will work 1 triple into each single crochet all the way across. So once you have finished your row of triple crochets, we are just going to chain 1 and turn. And this does not count as a stitch, so we are going to be working right into that first stitch. And we are going to be single crocheting all the way across this row. And we have worked all the way across, and I just want to remind you that you do need to work in the top of that chain 3 that we made on the triple crochet row. So just make sure you put your last stitch there. And if you need to use stitch markers to mark your first and last stitch of the row, go ahead and do that. It's a big help to have those stitch markers if you're not sure where your last stitch is. Alright, so we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. This chain 2 is going to count as a double crochet. So you are going to skip that first stitch and work a double crochet into that next stitch. Now we are going to work a bead stitch. So pretty much what this is a horizontal puff stitch. And what we're going to be working around is this double crochet. Not into a stitch, but we're working around it. I'll show you how that looks. So for a puff stitch, you're going to wrap your yarn around. You're going to work around this double crochet here. Pull up a loop. See how we're wrapped around that double? And we're going to wrap around, go into that same space again, pull up a loop, wrap around, go into that same space, wrap around, pull up a loop. And you're going to do that a total of 3 times. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook. You're going to wrap around your yarn and pull through all 6 of those loops, and you're going to leave that last loop on there. Then you're going to wrap around your yarn, pull it through those last 2 loops. All right. Then we are going to skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next. And you're going to do the same thing around this double crochet. So wrap around our yarn, go into that space around the double crochet you just made, bring up a loop, wrap around, go into the same space, pull up a loop, wrap around, into the same space, wrap around, pull up a loop. You should have 7 loops on your hook, wrap around, go through 6 of those loops, leaving that last one there. You'll have 2, wrap around, bring through both of those. And you're just going to do the same thing all the way across. We'll do it one more time. So we're going to skip that next stitch, double crochet into the next. All right, and doing our puff stitch around that double crochet, wrap around, go around that stitch, pull up a loop, wrap around, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, wrap around, around that stitch, wrap around, pull up a loop. 7 loops on your hook, wrap around, go through 6 of them. Should have 2 left, wrap around, go through 2. All right, so we're just going to do that all the way across this row, and I'll meet you at the last stitch. And we have completed our row except for the last stitch. So what we're going to do here is we have 1 stitch left on this row, so we are just going to double crochet into that stitch, and that is our last stitch of this row. After you have completed your bead stitch row, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and do a single crochet in each stitch all the way across. After completing that row of single crochets, you're going to chain 3, and that is going to be your first triple crochet of this row, and we are going to skip the first stitch and work into the next stitch with a triple and in each stitch all the way across. Once you've completed your row of triple crochets, just chain 1 and clip your yarn, and then you're going to pull that yarn all the way through and pull that chain tight. If you would like to continue using the same color for the blanket, chain 1 and turn and just continue your color with the next steps that I give. You do not need to tie in your ends for this blanket, so you can leave them fairly long, maybe 6 or 7 inches, because for this blanket we are going to put fringe on it. If you don't want to use, or if you don't want to add fringe to that, then go ahead and weave in your ends. Alright, so we are going to connect our next color. And to do that, I am going to start with a slip knot. And it's up to you how you would like to join your yarn here. You can either join it with a slip knot or tie it on and then chain one, or you can do what I'm going to do, and that would be a standing single crochet. So I have my slip knot on my hook. I'm going to put my hook into this first space, but I'm only going to go into that front loop. You see that? We've got 2 loops there. There's the back loop and the front loop. And for this row, we are going to go in the front loop only. Alright, see how I'm only through that one space instead of the 2? I'm just in the front. So then I'm going to wrap my yarn around my hook, pull it through, and I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm just going to hold that tail with my other hand, wrap the yarn around, pull through both of those loops. And that is your standing single crochet. So it looks just like a single crochet. It's just not linked to another single before it. So there's your single crochet. Again, if you do not want to do the standing single crochet, just attach your yarn and chain 1 and then work a single crochet into that same space. Alright, so we're just going to single crochet all the way across this row, and we are only working in the front loop for all of the stitches for this row. And the reason why I want to do this is it leaves a nice little ridge on that last color. If you don't want to do this, you don't need to. You could go in both loops if you prefer, but this is just how I chose to do it for the color change. And then work all the way across to the end of this row, and I'll meet you there for the next instructions. Now that we have the first row of our new color, we are just going to continue going the rest of the way for the new color with rows 2 through 6. So it's just going to be repeating rows 2 through 6. So this first row was a double crochet and we worked into the chain. I'm sorry, this first row was a single crochet and we worked into the chain. This single crochet row we worked into the front loop only. And again, if you would like to work into both loops, you can also do that. I just liked the nice separation it gave between rows. So just continue your blanket, repeating rows 2 through 6 all the way across, and after row 6 you will do another color change and just continue doing it that way with this new way of doing a single crochet instead of into the chain. So I hope that you had a wonderful time with me. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe if you have not done that already. I would love to have you join me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'd love to see pictures of your blankets and your projects, whatever they may be, on our community page. So go ahead and visit that and post some really great pictures of the work that you do. I'd love to see the colors that you choose and the work that you have done, and really allow other people to enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for joining me.